think it's working. Looks like it's working. I'm gonna bounce that around. Let me know if you guys can see or hear me. This is my first time doing this, so bear with me here. Everything's working. That's good. Is the is the video quality okay, or is it not good? I didn't realize, but I have a GoPro 9 Black, and you can't stream from the GoPro unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So there goes that. So I have to use, I'm using my laptop and using the webcam on that. And I'm hoping, I'm obviously in the garage, I'm not in the house. So I was hoping the Wi-Fi would be okay for coming all the way out here. But I didn't know that about the GoPro thing, but I connected it to my phone, everything connected like it always does. And then it popped up a notification on my phone through the GoPro app saying, you can't use this feature because you don't have 1,000 subscribers. So there goes that. I guess the other way to do it is there's some encoding that you can, like encoding software, something you can do to run it through the webcam and get better video quality. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not recording a video, so I'm not on the job site, so I didn't care if the video quality was that good, but it seems to be working okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I've never done a live stream, I just figured why not do something that's as it's happening versus, you do all these YouTube videos and you do all this talking and you do all this recording and then you go back and do all the editing and then the video comes out and people can ask questions, but, it's just not the same as being able to interact with people, as you're sitting here talking and doing it live in the moment versus, getting ready to post to YouTube and get a notification saying that you're got another video coming up. So that's why I decided to do it, just to see how it goes. If it goes good, I'll do it again. Obviously, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so, I don't expect there to be, some of the other channels out there. I'm sure you guys follow him, like the Handyman, like that guy, his live streams are nuts. He's got so many people commenting, he can't even keep up with the comments. So, and I've been following that dude for a long time. I've been following him since he had like 10,000 subscribers, and now he's got, I don't know, I could check on my phone, but he's got like 300,000 subscribers. So, am I having any cold beverages? No, I did that last night. I drank with my wife actually out in the driveway. We had a little fire going, and some of our neighbors came over and we had some drinks with them. We live in a small town, so it's only about like 1,200 people. And it's like a tight-knit community. People drive around on golf carts, and we drank last night. So I decided to take a break today. All that's in there is water. So I like to stay hydrated, but I could do it another night of drinking, but sometimes you want to, sometimes you don't. So, anyways, I'll kind of give you an update what's been going on with me, the business. I've been doing it for 5 years now, and it's still growing. I have plenty of work. Obviously, I have another career as a fireman too, so I do this on my days off and trying to do both. It takes a lot of scheduling efforts, but it works. It is working. I'm booked like now till probably the 3rd week of June, but that's just booked work. I get calls probably 2 or 3 times a day for people needing stuff done, and it's like everybody floods in at the same time. I don't get it. It's just I can be sitting at home today. I was home all day. I was going to do something for a customer. It's a Saturday. I don't like working the weekends, but I was going to do it. Raining all morning. I said, forget it. I told him I'll do it this week. But, I'll go all day and not get one phone call. And then I'll be out on the job site and I'll get 5, 6, 7 phone calls. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. It never happens when you're just sitting there doing nothing. It's always when you're out there working and you don't want to stop and answer your phone. And the way I have it set up, I have a personal number, but then I have a Google Voice number. That's what I use for my business. So when people call, if I don't answer the phone, I can pick it up and it'll say, press 1 to answer the call, press 2 to send it to voicemail. If I don't want to answer it, I'll send them right to the voicemail. They leave a voicemail, and then I get an email notification through Google what they said. Now, the actual what they said is a little jumbled up when you're trying to read it. It's not always heard right from Google, so you just listen to it like a regular voicemail. They tell you everything that's going on, what needs to be done, and but it always works out that way. You never get the calls when you're waiting for them. It always comes when you're in the middle of doing something. But like I said, the business is still growing. I've been doing it for 5 years now, or almost 5 years. And, I was the first couple of years, I wasn't on Instagram at all. I might have had an account, but no, I never used it. And then I started getting into it. I'm like, oh, what's this Instagram thing all about? And I started doing that, and it was fun, but I've met some good people on there that I've kind of became friends with over time, and I see them, once a year at the Builder Show and stuff. But it became just so mundane, and I just got tired of all this. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Everybody on there is doing their thing. It just was too exhausting for me to try to get all these followers and get in with these companies. And I'm like, what am I getting out of this? Nothing. I mean, okay, let me invest and put more time and effort and, my life into my phone, and then hope that I get all these, tool companies to send you stuff. And, I just got tired of it, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I'm doing this for. So then I'm like, I took a step back from Instagram because it's like, let's be honest, we're on our phones and computers and everything way too much anyway. So I'm like, I'm going to invest in something else. I stepped back from Instagram. I'm still on there. I do a post very, very rarely, hardly ever do stories anymore. And then I decided to say, all right, I'm going to invest my time, because I'm on the job site working anyways, into YouTube. And that's what I started doing. So I had a YouTube and I made a few videos, and then I kind of slacked off, and it's been on and off. But now I'm like really into it. I'm religiously recording. I'm religiously editing, and then trying to get the videos out there. And it's working. It's going well. I mean, I'm having fun doing it. So, and it's led into some other things with me and the content that I put out there, my business, like I said, a part of growing. I become a Lowe's ambassador as of December, and I don't have a big following. As you guys can see, I got 252 subscribers on YouTube, 1,400 subscribers on Instagram, and they approach me and want to be an ambassador for them. So that is slowly taking off. It's just started in December. So now I'm working with them. So when you guys see my posts or my videos, and it says that I'm a Lowe's Pro partner, that's part of being an ambassador with them. If there's anything Lowe's related, I got to put that in there. So that's another avenue of the business I didn't even know I'd be doing. And so it's going good. It's growing. Let me answer a question here. You've seen influx of people spending their stimulus money on house projects? Yes. Simple answer is yes. I bet you this year compared to last year, I bet that, man, I say for every 10 estimates, I bet you I actually go to maybe 2 of them. Seriously. The rest of them, I say, send me pictures. I get a rough idea of what's going on. I talk to them. I pre-screen them. I ask them what they want out of the project, and that's it. And then I'm like, here, you're going to be between this price and this price. And now, it's been 5 years. Don't get me wrong, I still screw up. But I can get pretty close now with most of the projects. If it's a deck, I can't go off pictures. There's just too much to be seen with a deck that I can't. I go out there and look at it. But most of them, like I said, probably 8 out of every 10 estimates, I'm not even going to the house. They're sending me pictures. I looking at them, talking to them, pre-screening, and it's like been like streamlined, and it's like boom, boom, boom. And I don't think I've had hardly anybody tell me no this year. And my prices are higher than other people too. And people know that. I have people tell me that when I give them an estimate, they say that I'm higher, and I just say, it is what it is. So the influx of people, yes, they're spending their stimulus money on home project, which is good. They're reinvesting their money into their house instead of, a new big screen TV. But yeah. And with most of the people that I'm getting my work from, I'm always pre-screening them too. So I'm not just like, yeah, I'll do the job. I pre-screen them first to make sure that one of my ideal customers that I want to work for. But anyways, yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I'm busy every year this time of year, but like this just seems like, I guess, busier because I'm not even having to run around nearly as much, and I'm still getting these jobs just sitting at home and analyzing it at home. But, don't get me wrong, though. I screw up because I just did that on a job I just finished up, which I'm going to be doing a video on YouTube of that. But I didn't go and look at it, but I'm like, yeah, I got a pretty good idea how long it's going to take me. And I didn't lose money, but I didn't make what I normally would make if you broke it down hourly. So if you look at that, I didn't lose money, but I didn't really make money either. So it still happens, but you got to learn from it and remember what you did. Sometimes too, what I do is if I screwed up, I'll screw up like, okay, why did I screw up? And I'll just write down real quick, okay, this, and this took me longer than what I thought for the next time. So the tool company offers are just finally hitting me from YouTube just the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Like I said, this tool company thing is out of control. I don't care what anybody says. It's out of control. This is insane. I mean, they're literally, if you got a heartbeat and you can walk, they're sending you a tool. If you got enough followers, you're getting the tool. It doesn't matter. I don't care what anybody else tells you. I don't care what the tool companies say. Most of them are doing that. If you got a pulse and you can walk around and you know how to operate a tool, you're getting the free tool if you got 200,000 followers. If somebody wants to prove me wrong, please. But that's what I've seen. That's what I've noticed. And I've noticed that, 75% of the tools that are being worked and being used are not being used on a job site. And they're not being used by the right type of person in the trades that's doing the job. We got framers getting, miter saws. Well, that's mostly a finished tool. I mean, how can a framer really use that tool and say, yes, this is awesome? And if same thing, a finished carpenter who uses a miter saw every day of the week is getting sent a framing gun. How does he know how well it works? Now me, I'm a little bit different. I do a little bit of everything. So I do a lot of trim work, doors, exterior trim. I do some painting. So I'm more of a handyman, but I do think I like the finished carpentry part of it the best because that's the last thing that everybody sees with their eyes, and I try to make the best that I can. But the tool company thing is just, once you get noticed, it takes a mind of its own. But like I said, this Lowe's thing, now I've talked to my wife about this numerous times, and I've told her this, Lowe's is a huge company. They're not like some little mom and pop store. So I asked them, their marketing, I guess you would say marketing director, I think, through the corporate chain of Lowe's, what made you choose me? Why did you call me? And they basically just said it's because we liked you and the content you put out, blah, blah, blah. So, with that, followers didn't mean anything. And I had that conversation, the very first conversation I had with them, when I talked to them on the phone the first time, I said, look, if you're looking for somebody that's going to just, get free stuff and then come out and say Lowe's is awesome and that's it, you're looking for the wrong person. And we can just end the phone call now because I don't want any part of that. Now it's a little bit different because I am getting things from them. Yes. And I said that to them. But if you're expecting me to just every single thing you send me, I'm going to be like, oh, this thing is awesome. It's the best thing I've ever seen. No, it's not going to happen. And I'm sure if you guys are keeping up with tools in general, Lowe's just came out with this big, the flex line of tools, which is this right here. So Lowe's just came out with a whole flex line of tools, which I'll be coming out with more of that. So that was a big thing. I got those tools sent to me, point blank. They sent them to me. They want me to try them out. Tell me what you think, what you like, don't like. And I'll have Actually, the job I just did, I've got a bunch of me using it out on the job site. I've watched many of your videos, and you are well positioned for the high end. Yeah. Oh, I think I remember reading your comment once. Yeah. I mean, we're not all going to be this, we're not all going to be the same. I think I just dripped water in my mouth. We're not all going to be the same. Okay. You're going to have guys that are less money. You're going to have guys that are more money. And then you're going to have guys that are kind of in the middle. And I just tell people, hey, a big question I ask if it's a deck is, what's your budget? And if they say they have no idea, I'd be like, okay, 20 grand. If it's going to cost me $5,000, I'll just throw out a number, 20 grand. And they're like, oh gosh, no, that's so high. We can't afford that. Okay, well then you do have a budget. You have a number in mind. So, okay, let's try to work with that. What kind of number are you looking at? How much do you think this costs? What do you want to spend? And a perfect example of this is this trim. It was on my last, I think my last video where I painted that trim. This perfect example of this lady had a tile guy come in there, just did the tile, nothing else. And when they were done, oh my God, the house was a mess. And she flat out, she texted me actually and asked me, she goes, what am I going to need to do when you're done? And I said, nothing. Enjoy your house, because it's been a wreck for the last 2 weeks. When I'm done, I'm done. And I said, what sets me apart, when I walked in there and I said that, and I said, you're not going to have to do anything. She texted me. I immediately had the job. So that was it. There's no other questions asked. She didn't ask me what the cost was going to be. She just said, send me an estimate, blah, 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 blah. And that was it. So estimates are still the worst part of the job. They are. It's not an easy thing. I guess if you're doing, I've got a good buddy of mine. He's 10 years older than me, but he's a great guy, and he only does decks. That's all he does. Somebody like him, he is like on point with his pricing all the time. He knows how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, what it's going to take, logistics, everything. He's just got it down. You're doing the same thing all the time. For me, it's a little different because estimates are just harder for me because I'm doing multiple things. I could be painting a room, which that's easy to do an estimate for. But then, you got people like, oh, well, I just got some trim around my door that needs to be replaced. Okay, well, what does that mean? I need more information than that. Did the trim get ruined? Did the trim get chewed by the dog? Is there no trim up there now at all? Did you have a door replaced and you got to replace the trim? There's just a lot of things that go into that where it's like I need pictures, and then I talk to them on the phone because it's just, the next thing you know, you think you're going, 3 pieces of trim. I'll go there, in and out in probably like an hour. Quick punch list call, in and out. And then you get there and you're like, oh gosh, well, the person who installed the door, it's all screwed up. And now the jamb of the door isn't even with the drywall. So now we got to build it out. And then now we got to make sure that it's flat. And then the drywall's still screwed up. So that is the worst part of the job. For other things though, it is easier, like a storm door. I tell them, send me a picture. I know exactly what it looks like when I get the picture. I know exactly what I need to do by just looking at the picture. Something like that, I pretty much have the same price every time, unless it has to be built out. If there's side lights on one side and you got to put that like little build out strip to do the door, then the price changes a little bit. But something like that, it's not difficult. That kind of stuff is easy. Painting a room, unless it's like way out of the ordinary where there's a million holes and this, but that's why you ask questions to your customer. You pre-screen them, get pictures, or if you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, then go see it. If it's going to get you to get the job, but you got to waste the time to go see it and you get the job, well, then it's worth it. I did find though, my first year I was running all over the place. I would talk to my wife. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm going all over. And it's fun because you're out there trying to chase work. You're trying to chase work, get jobs, make money. But at the same time, that takes a lot of time. And people don't see that. That's what a lot of what people don't see is you doing the estimate and going out doing that. So, I wasted a lot of time my first year until I really started to buckle down, asking people the right questions, looking for the right customers, and building a customer base, getting my business and my website and my Google and all that in the right places so the right people find me. Now, don't get me wrong. You're still going to find those cheap people, and those cheap people are going to still find you, but that's why you pre-screen them or try to do the best to pre-screen them. Oh, you're absolutely correct. I've turned down everything Chinese-ish. I have one possibly going now with a UK tool distributor that's willing to do it with we're Nipex. Oh yeah, so they're big time. They're big time companies. It's hard right now to have time for estimate. The amount of work coming in is out of control. I'm telling you, like I said, I have another career, so I'm a fireman too, you know. So I do this on my days off, and it's crazy, man. Like I've been going every day for like the last 2 weeks, and then I got a thing to go to tomorrow on Sunday, so can't work tomorrow. But then I'm gonna work on Monday, Tuesday, full days, work Wednesday shift at the fire department, and then Thursday morning we leave to go out of town to visit family. So, and it's been like that every week now for the last 3 weeks, and it's gonna be like that when I get back because I got a big deck job that I'm doing, and I mean, there's just so much work I can't even remember. I have it all. I don't have my book here. I have it all written down where it's like, okay, as I get the job scheduled, I'm like, I just last name, the job, the town, and then, you know, I cross it out when I'm done because I get so out of whack sometimes with the scheduling that I got to try to keep up with it. But yeah, I got a big deck coming up that's just not the frame, just to tear off the decking, the railings, new decking, new railings. I have like another smaller deck. It's like a 5x16 that I'm doing. Man, what else? God, I'm telling you guys, I can't even remember. I'd have to go get the book. It's just the work is crazy. I was surprised at the flex line prices there at the other brand price point, red, blue, yellow. Yeah. I guess you know, where they're at with the price point, it's a new tool company. Well, I mean, the company's been around for a while, but as far as the flex line, I think they're trying to compete for sure. So I've used the tools and I'm really impressed. There's been a lot of guys out there too that were watching like the Flex Face Off and they said that was a joke and it was just so gimmicky. But it's like, what tool company is not gimmicky? For one, every tool company is gimmicky. But these people aren't messing around. I should have grabbed one of their. Actually, let me just go back. So here's one of their tools. This is their one of their grinders, 5-inch grinder, and this is the battery. But I'm telling you guys, like these are legit. I was impressed when I got them out of the box, and then when I actually saw them and then put them to the test and used them, I'm like, these people are really trying to compete. But it's got the all rubber cased batteries. It has the charging light on there. I mean, guys, I'm serious. They're truly trying to make a competition out of it between the other tool companies. Which I'm going to be doing a video of that. I've done some testing for a lot of them on the job site. I think that's the only thing I didn't actually test on the job site yet was the grinder, but that's going to be coming. I just have been recording it, and like I said, anybody can take this thing and go buy a piece of rebar and cut a piece of rebar, and it's going to cut it inside their garage. Let's be honest. Anybody can do that. And a lot of people do, but that's not me. I'm like, okay, I want to test the tools by all means. Yeah, for sure. I'll go out there and cut a couple pieces of wood and see how it works, but I want to use it on the job site where I'm going to be working over my head and having my wrist bent a certain way and have to cut a certain way and then have to plunge in and cut the board a certain way. That's what I wanted to see. You know, how well will this Sawzall cut? How much vibration is going to have if I have to try to get a straight line with a Sawzall? Stuff like that. That's what I wanted to do. And that's why I haven't put out a YouTube video yet with that stuff, because I want it to be stuff on the job site, which it is. It's coming. Do you ever think about specializing in one thing and not do everything around the house? I have. And I have found, at least in my area, that so I don't do any plumbing, no plumbing for me, because you got to have a plumbing license, no electrical, and no roofing. In Illinois, you have to have a roofing license too, and that's a law, and so is the plumbing thing. So those are 3 things I don't do. But I have found that I tried to get away from doing certain things and it wasn't working. People would be like, oh, well, you know, I want you to put all new white trim up in my first floor. Oh, great. I can do that all the time and I love doing it. But then I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I can put up the trim, but you got to find somebody to paint it. Oh, well, you don't paint it. Now we got to find somebody else. Well, maybe we'll just find somebody that does everything. So I found what I was doing was I was missing out on some work because of it. And, you know, it's like if I just don't think in my area with the type of customers that are here demographic wise, there's enough work to specialize in. I don't want to say there's enough work because that's the wrong answer. There's plenty of work in something that I really like to do, like finish carpentry. Yeah, people need trim and doors all the time, but you know, they're throwing up these spec homes with, you know, vinyl siding, et cetera, et cetera. But I tried to get away from it and I couldn't. It didn't work. So I'm like, okay, well now I'm just kind of missing out on money. Why not, you know, take the extra 4 hours, prep the trim, and then paint it, and then I make the money. Then I have to call another painter. So I do. So just to break it down really quick, I do doors, trim. I do like, you know, fascia repairs. I'll do some siding repairs. I'll do decks, painting. You know, like painting rooms and stuff. Painting trim. No, I don't do no tiling though, but I'll do floor like LVP flooring or wood flooring. I just don't get many requests for wood flooring. What else? What else? That's about it. And then routine stuff. I mean, I have people that, what's amazing is I have people that call me, they want me to hang their pictures or they want me to do smoke detectors. And I'm like, why would I not do that? How easy could that be? But the other thing though too is if someone needs like one little task done, like I had a guy last year, he needed a piece of siding put back up on his house. And it was maybe a 3-foot piece of siding. And I have a minimum service charge, $125. That's my minimum, whether it takes 5 minutes or whether it takes an hour. But I use that as a selling point too, because what I do is I'll go there and he accepted right away. He's like, okay, come fix it. I fixed a piece of siding. And then right after that, I said, okay, if you have anything else you would like me to look at or do within that hour, I can try to take care of it for you. And if I can, and it takes longer, I can tell you how much it's going to cost to do that. And that person that I did that for has led into 2 other jobs. One was another service call for another $125. And then another one was a bigger job that that's one that's coming up soon too. So it's led into more work. And I find that I'm keeping control of what I'm doing. I'm not going too crazy where I'm carrying a million different things and I got a 16-foot trailer of every single piece and part and material that, you know, that the hardware store carries. Estimates are killing me. I am new to the game, so I've underestimated quite a bit. My improvement plan is in place though. And it totally includes not doing everything. It's going to take some time to buckle it down. You're not going to get it overnight, but don't get frustrated. Like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years and I just, you know, I still make mistakes. I just did in this last job. I underbid it thinking, you know what? I just rushed myself. I was in a hurry. My mind wasn't in the right place. And I ended up bidding lower than I should have. I still got the job, but for the amount of work that I did and the logistics part of it, I underbid. And it happens. You're going to do it, but do your best. And just remember, like I said, if you have to, write this down. I screwed this up on this date. This is what I did wrong. It took me too long to get the materials, or it took me too long at the store because I didn't make a list for the materials that I needed, or I went to the house and, you know, the job I just did for this lady, this trim job I just did, I was rolling, doing good. I'm like, man, I'm good on my time. I'm actually less time than what I'm going to be. Awesome. Which when it takes you less than what you thought, that's more profit for you. And I fell 1 piece short on shoe molding. I was about a 5-foot piece and I'm like 1 piece short. So I wrote down screwed up 1 piece short on this trim job, which means I have to go to the store, get it, and come back. So yeah, it's not a big deal, but you know, when you add the time up, the store is just 10 minutes away. So 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back to 20 minutes. Let's just say another 10 minutes checkout. That's a half hour. That's a half hour out of your day that you can be like, oh, well, if I wouldn't have screwed up, I could have been home a half hour earlier. So, you know, if you can, like, keep a little log, you know, write this stuff down. It helps me when I screw up on stuff. Is the character Matt Casey on the show Chicago Fire based off your career? Oh, God, don't even bring up that show. I will say my wife and me watch the show. We do. It's an interesting show. But some of the calls, their fire calls and accidents and stuff, it's so off the wall. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been a fireman for 15 years now, full-time for 12. I started when I was 19 years old. And don't get me wrong, you're never going to see it all. I mean, just when you think, oh, okay, well, we've seen everything, you don't. But some of the stuff that they're doing on that show is really, really off the wall. It's funny. He says, he goes, Hardee's or McDonald's for the pregame Carpenter day. Well, you know, it's funny you say that. There used to be a lot of Hardee's around me, and now there isn't. They're pretty much gone. Around my area now, wait, there is a Hardee's. There's one Hardee's. No, that closed down. There isn't no more Hardee's around me that I can think of that are close enough that I'd be like, oh, let's go to Hardee's. We don't eat a lot of fast food either, though. We have cheat meals here and there, but me and my wife try to be good and eat pretty healthy. But there's McDonald's on every freaking corner. Oh, how much tortillas do you eat in a week? So it's funny you say that too. My father-in-law, they're in Columbus, and every time they come and visit us here in Illinois, that is the first thing they have to do is at some point while they're here, they have to get Portillo's hot dogs because in Ohio, they don't have Chicago-style hot dogs. But I never eat it. We never eat it. The only time we eat it is when they visit, which is sad, kind of, but you go there any time of day, and that place is crazy. The lines are always out to the street. I mean, it's insane. And you got the people, they're all sitting outside writing. It's crazy. Milwaukee or Ryobi? You know what? I own one. I think just one. Yeah, I own one Ryobi tool, and I bought it on Facebook Marketplace about 3 months ago. I did a YouTube video of this humongous, oversized, worst project in the world picture frame that I've ever done. And I'll never do another one again because this was a lot of planning and a lot of going back and forth with my wife trying to help me with this thing so that it was right. I mean, this thing was not – I underestimated what this would take. This thing was huge. It would – I mean, the ceiling that I hung this thing on – was a 16-foot ceiling, and it probably took up, I bet you, 10 feet of it. I mean, it was huge. So that's the only Ryobi tool I own was I bought on Marketplace, a Ryobi router, and then a little small portable Ryobi router table that I've used twice now since I bought it, so I've actually used it. And Milwaukee. So I have Milwaukee. You can see there's a charger back there. I have Milwaukee. I have DeWalt. And that's mostly what I have, power tool wise. There's so many companies and so many batteries. Okay, let's go back to these guys that are getting all this stuff for free. They can keep up with this. They can keep up with all these chargers, all these new batteries, all these new tools. And that's fine, but I can't keep up with that. I'm not buying 5 or 6 platforms of tools to be like, hey, check me out. Give me something free because I'm using your tool. I don't have time for that, and I don't have the money for that. I mean, batteries alone are getting crazy. That new DeWalt battery, that 15-amp battery that just came out, the thing is $350 for the battery. Are you kidding me? So, no, I have DeWalt and mostly Milwaukee, and now the Flex tools that they sent me, I've been using those. But since I've had the Flex tools, the Milwaukee and the DeWalt tools have taken a back seat. I've strictly been using these so I can really test these out. But that's it. I can't think of anything else that I have. Oh, well, my shop vacs, those are rigid shop vacs. So those aren't DeWalt or Milwaukee, but I have 90% of it's probably Milwaukee and DeWalt tools. Are you getting lumber prices high there too? Oh man. I mean, you want to talk about out of control. I have a lady. Oh, that's another big project I forgot about. This garden box. I got to build this humongous garden box. I told this lady, I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? This is going to be so ungodly expensive. I told her. I tried to talk her out of it. I'm like, you're going to be shocked when I give you a price because it's just the prices are so high, and she's wanting me to do it. I talked to my lumber supplier, who I get my stuff from. They're Heinz Lumber, and I always check another department store like Menards, checks their prices too. And I almost fell off my chair. So the other day I get ready to order this lumber. I'm like, well, let me just check, because my lumber supplier, they were 2x8 by 16 and 2x8 by 14. They did not have it. Their vendor didn't have it. They didn't know when they were going to get it. So they would not lock in my price because of the prices going up again. So I couldn't even, they're like, there's nothing we can do. We can't even sell it to you because we don't know what price the vendor's going to make us pay. And the vendor won't lock in your lumber because they don't know when they're going to get it and what the price is going to be. I'm like, this is just crazy. Anyways, I checked Menards price. They were $20 per board cheaper. I mean, this is out of control. This is out of control. This is not because of a pandemic now. My opinion only. This is just strictly price gouging at this point. They know. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, people aren't going to stop building houses. They're going to be like, oh, lumber prices are too high. I'm not building houses anymore. We're stopping. Dead stop. These companies just pack your tools up. We're not going to touch these houses till the prices go down. That's not going to happen. We all got to keep working. So, I mean, it's out of hand. I mean, it's price gouging, period. That's my thought on it. That's what I think is going on. Okay. Just bought a Ryobi tabletop 4-inch sander, just like the others, but with green plastic. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, a tool is a tool. I mean, gosh, I don't know. I try to take care of my stuff. If you're on a job site and you're a foreman, you're like, here, use my DeWalt table saw, and there's 5 or 6, 7 different guys using it, that's probably going to get the shit kicked out of it. It's going to get beat up. Me, I try to take care of my stuff for the most part, so I know what I'm using. If you're not beating a tool up, I mean, they're not making these tools to fail after you buy them nowadays. So, and what I tell people too, if you're running your own business, you're just starting out, go with what you can afford. If that's all you can afford is Ryobi brand tools, do it. Will it get you by? Yeah. Do it until you got enough money built up or you get a big enough job. You're like, bam, okay, I'm going to upgrade now. Now I'm going to get a little bit better tools. Simple as that. Do what you can afford. Whatever your business is going to allow you to do at the time, that's what tools you should be using. What's your checklist for clients when they call you and try to screen them over the phone? This is a big one. Now, everybody does it different. I'm just going to tell you the way I do it. First I just ask them the type of project they want to do, what they want out of the project. That'll be a question that I ask. And, it's a little different if they're just installing a storm door, but if they're like, well, I want to have all these new doors in my house and all this new trim, then your questions get a little different. So I ask them those 2 questions. I ask them, do they have a budget in mind for this project, or have they looked into how much this project is going to cost? And then I'll ask them what their expectations are out of me, or what they expect out of me. And a big thing that I have learned is let them do the talking. That's what I do. I let them do the talking. And then when they're done talking, then I say something. That you can read people really fast over the phone by letting them just speak and say what they have to say, answering their questions, and then, saying what you need to say. But the biggest thing I have found, and this can go by demographics too. I get people that call me like with rental properties. My area, those are the cheapest people in the world. They just want everything done as cheap as possible because they're a landlord and they just want to get by to either get the renter by and get them off their back, or get them out of there and just get it to where it needs to be so that another renter can come in there and start renting. My area, those people are the worst. But when you're talking to these people on the phone, what I found, if they immediately mention price, they're not my ideal customer. Or if they immediately say, how much is that going to cost? They're not my ideal customer. Or if they say, well, I got an easy job, it shouldn't take you that long, I think it'll take you 2 hours. If they're telling you as the professional how long it's going to take you, they're not valuing what you're worth. Because how do they know how long it's going to take? That's why they're calling you. You're the expert. You're the professional. They're calling you for a reason. So if they say those kind of things, or I say a timeline, that's another big one. I say, do you have a timeline in mind of when you want this project finished? And if they say, no, I'm not really in a big hurry, they're not serious about getting the work done. Now, don't get me wrong. I have had it where it's backfired on me, where they're like, okay, you think that you're not going to get the job and you do, but those cases are rare. So the questions I ask are that so I'm not wasting a lot of my time trying to get the jobs that I'm never going to get anyways. So those are some of the questions that I ask. If you work primarily in your garage, does that classify you as a tool professional? Professional in the social media world is a very loose term, my friend, a very loose term. And you can tell by the way I'm talking that I take it very seriously because the word professional is a big deal to me because I want to make sure I word this the right way. It's a big deal to me because there's some of us out there that put the time and the effort and they're out there grinding and running a business or being a journeyman or being a carpenter or being a framer, just starting out and young and wanting to do it. And then you got the people that are just literally posting to social media, getting all these tools underneath the sun, and that's it. And could they be considered professional? I guess a professional content creator. That's what they're professional at. They're a professional content creator. So, man, I don't know. This whole thing is it's gotten out of hand. I mean, I talk to other people. You know what I tell people? Jesus, take the wheel, because this is just crazy. What these people are doing, man. I'm just like, oh, man, I don't know. Monkey could do some of the stuff that these guys are doing to get these tools and test them out. I mean, that's as far as I'll go with that, but if you do construction in Wichita, Kansas, does that automatically make you a better carpenter? Oh, my God. Man, I know what you're talking about, but I ain't going to say that about that. I know what you're talking about, but yeah. So I'm laughing because one of my buddies that I've never even met before my whole life, I would met him on Instagram. So Instagram is good for some things. You meet some cool people who know what they're doing, who share their knowledge, and I want to help other people. So the questions he's asking, that's why I'm laughing. But 3/4-inch plywood is $105. Ooh, my goodness gracious! I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. If somebody, it's just my opinion with things, but if somebody can give me an actual explanation of what is going on and why it is where it is, then tell me. And don't give me this, well, it's because it's a lumber shortage. And there ain't no lumber shortage. I go around everywhere I'm working, these construction sites, these newly built homes and stuff, there ain't no shortage. There aren't these half-built homes where nobody's working on them. And it's like, oh, we got half of the trusses up and then the rest of the half of the house is just sitting there. No, these houses are getting built, man. My cousin, perfect example, he just built the house. They had it done in less than 6 months. And this was recently, like they just moved in. And the pandemic's been going on for how long? So, man, they're really they're raking people through the coals now, and they're liking every second of it. The 3/4-inch plywood, $105 in Alberta. I think here it's maybe $75. I think a sheet, at least. But you know what? It's funny you say that because I just had my cousin ask me to build a set of cornhole boards for her husband for Father's Day. And I looked it up real quick for materials. And it's going to be like $175. I'm like, holy cow, you got to be kidding me. And I look at people on Facebook Marketplace and they're selling these board sets for like $180. I'm like, how are you guys doing that? You're making like $5. I don't know how these people are doing it. How far are you booked out for jobs? Right now, let's see, today, what's the date today? Today's the 15th. I'm probably booked out till, to be safe, I would say third week of June now, roughly. Close to, depending on how long these two bigger jobs are going to take me. The one deck job's pretty big. I don't know how long that's going to take, but roughly that's about what I'm booked out. Oh, let's see. There might not be a wood shortage, but there is a shortage of tool reviews online. You know what? That's the one thing that I think is great. I haven't missed that at all. I mean, it's like clockwork, man. When one person gets this thing at their doorstep, oh my God, it's everybody. I swear, it's like everybody gets it the same day. And it's like boom, 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 boom. Like one story after another. I'm like, oh my God, all right, let's go. Let's move on. Can we just have the tool company just say, hey, we sent these out to everybody and they're going to be trying them out. But it's like, no, everybody, oh, check this out, you know. Holy hell, it's getting so annoying. But that's been nice, though, having all these people just, I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but some of the things that I follow, I think people have run out of things to talk about, you know? I mean, people have gotten, it seems like some people have just gotten really desperate with the content that they're putting out because they're like, oh, well, we're not getting stuff sent to us nearly as much as we were before. So now we got to find other ways to get content out there. But tool companies required set release times for pre-production videos, etc. You know, I know that, but, you know, I don't even know how to put it because it's like these, you know, guys that got all these followers and stuff. There's some good guys too. Don't get me wrong. There's some good guys that I've met that are, you know, they're doing their thing. I'm not knocking any of them because they're all doing it. And the people that aren't in the trades that are still doing with all these tools, good for them. I'm like, good for you. Dude, you're getting thousands and thousands of tools sent to you every year. I mean, you're killing it. Good for you. I would be forever grateful if I was getting that kind of stuff sent to me all year long. But the problem that I have with it is I have a big problem with the untruthfulness that goes on along with it. When most of these big companies, their sole marketing scheme, I don't want to call it a scheme, but their marketing development or their marketing, however you want to call it, is to solely base the tools that they send people off of the amount of followers they have, whether they're in the trades or not. That's what I am like, I don't know where we're going with it. That's where I'm like, where are we going with this? Because now it's just like, we're just sending them out to anybody. We don't care. We don't care if you have your own business. We don't care if you're even in the trades. We're going to send it to you because you got 200,000 followers and we just want you to put a screw in a piece of wood. That's all we need to do because who knows, maybe we'll get 30,000 people to buy the tool. It skews the marketplace for information. Oh my God, you know what? And that's the thing. So you get the same people and they all, in general, most of them say the same thing. You know, this is awesome. That is awesome. But then you talk to somebody who's actually bought it and they're using it and they're like, dude, this thing sucks. You know, a perfect example. I bought this dust extractor, DeWalt dust extractor, because I have a DeWalt miter saw and I get it, whatever. The saw was designed before the dust extractor, But the dust extraction, when it's hooked up to the saw, is terrible. Okay, the fitting on the end, you have to put friction tape on there to get it to stay in to the chute that's connected to the miter saw. And then half of the sawdust doesn't even blow into the chute. It blows all over the place. And they're like, well, 75%. I'm like, no, that's not 75%. Then the dang freaking hose mars up the trim like a crayon. So like, oh, well, that's why they sell this sleeve. I don't want to do that. If I pay $350, I don't want to have to modify my $400 saw and my $400 dust extractor to get it to work the right way. Just paid, let's say, $100 worth of tools, and now I got to go over here and sit there and screw with this thing and screw with that thing to get it to where it needs to be to work right. You know, that's when I'm like, okay, well, why don't you stop sending this stuff to the people that are doing it in their garage? Because they don't care if dust flies all over the place, and send this stuff to the people that are using it in these $1 million homes, and then we'll get a real opinion on whether it's nice or not. Anyways, that's just my opinion on it, but whatever. You know, it's not going to, the thing is too, you know, people get upset, but it ain't going to change. You know, there's these tool companies, they're going to keep doing it that way. They don't care. Most of them don't care. And I know they'll be like, oh, this company, that company, they send out tools to this place and that place for people to use and for new framers and whatever else programs they got set up. But the majority of it, you know, it's crazy. And what's the worst part about it is most of these people, these companies, you can pinpoint them out of the ones that are sending their stuff solely to the people based on their follower counts. Have been able to figure that out really easily, which is kind of amazing. But, you know, they're like, oh, we want people to back our brand and we want people that want to be in the trades and we want people that are, you know, they're positive and they're doing good things for the trades and they're making the trades grow and getting all these younger people in the trades. And then you see these people with like what they sent them to somebody that's not even in the trades. You're like, I thought that's what you were going for. You're sending it to somebody who doesn't represent the trades at all. Like, hello. Is the dust extractor any better with handheld tools? It is better with my orbital sander. It's better with that. And you know what it comes down to? It's the chute. It is the chute that is on the saw. I have a DeWalt DWS 780. It's that saw. And I get that. It's the saw. The saw with the chute was out before the extractor, blah, 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 blah. I understand that. But my point is, why not come out with something like, hey, guess what? From DeWalt, if you own this saw, here's this modification or here's this part you can buy and you'll get better extraction out of it. But then the hose, I mean, literally, if you touch a piece of trim with this hose, it marks it like a crayon. It's crazy. I'm like, okay, well, now I got to be extra careful when I'm bringing the hose in and out of the house. Or I got to spend money and get the sleeve and then take the ends off and put the sleeve on. I'm like, can it just work the right way? Oh, let's see. For the DeWalt battery push, you can find out who. Oh, my God. I mean, he's I don't even know what to say, man. I just laugh. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know what to say other than it's funny. You know, I mean, the second is, oh, here's the battery and here's the price and here's all the features. I mean, yeah, what features? It's a battery. Is it going to run the tool or is it not? I mean, it's a 15 amp battery. I mean, I don't have a drill over here, but who's going to be taking this and putting it in the cordless drill? I don't know. I mean, if you're doing some serious, obviously, if you're doing like some hammer drilling and stuff into concrete, then it would obviously be awesome to have it. But, oh, God, I don't know. It's just a big circus. Goose Island or Coors Light. You know what? I don't drink neither one of those. Everybody in my family, there's probably 35 of us, like when we get together for holidays and stuff, we all drink Bud Light. Nobody drinks anything else other than, White Claws. Everybody drinking the seltzers. Now, I drink those too because I'm trying to just cut back on the amount of beer. But only one person in my family, my nephew, drinks actual Budweiser. Everybody else in my whole family drinks Bud Light. DeWalt is due for a refresh of many of their tools. They make some fantastic tools, granted, but I'm seeing more and more wholesale weaknesses in their lines, and I'm a DeWalt guy. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If people like you that use their tools and your loyalty to the brand is there, and you're seeing the weaknesses, that's a problem, but that's the thing. They're not asking the right people. That's what it comes down to. They're not asking the right people. Some of the tools like Milwaukee, their 12-volt line, that just blows anybody out of the water. I mean, their M12 line has so many tools, like it's insane. And I have M12, two M12 tools. Their Bluetooth radio that I got as a Christmas gift, and then I bought that driver that they have with the 4 different attachments. I thought that was a great idea. I bought that in the 12-volt line, and that thing has been awesome. It's been perfect, and I use it all the time. But then I have DeWalt's M18 line with their drills, grinder, and then DeWalt stuff. And then I have some. So what I did too was I switched over and got rid of almost all my gas-powered yard tools because I was just tired of dealing with gas. And the only thing I have gas now is my chainsaw. But I have the FlexVolt trimmer and the FlexVolt blower. And for what I do, it worked out great. So now I have the DeWalt track saw because that uses a FlexVolt battery. So, like I said, I'm just trying to. I can't have 5 or 6 tool platforms with batteries unless I'm getting them all sent to me. Batteries are getting as big as I mean, I'm telling you, who's going to be, the fatigue alone, you can't. I mean, some of the things okay, a 15 amp battery, most of the cordless hand tools, you're not going to be able to put it in there. You're going to get carpal tunnel in your wrist from using it. But I guess it's not what it's geared towards, but, batteries. I'm a DeWalt guy too, but I think Milwaukee has slid past them on a ton of stuff. I don't disagree, and that's the thing. These things go back and forth, and a lot of these companies are all making good tools. If they weren't, they'd be out of business. It's but the thing is like, okay, whoever comes out with it first, then they come out with it next, and then the other person comes out with it first, and they come out right after that. Like, okay, DeWalt's coming out with the blower and string trimmer. And then here comes Milwaukee with a blower and string trimmer. And then DeWalt, here comes a cordless vacuum, like 20-volt vacuum. And then, here comes the Milwaukee 20-volt vacuum or Milwaukee M18 vacuum, cordless vacuum. And then it's like, Okay, now here comes the flex volt dust extractor, and then it's like they just go back and forth. Here comes the DeWalt, the tough system, and then here comes the rigid version of it, and then I will say though with that, and then here comes Milwaukee pack out. So I had the DeWalt tough system. I got rid of that thing. I got the pack out. Yes, it's heavier. I don't care what anybody says. That thing is awesome. I think that's the best tool system if you're trying to be compact and roll in, roll out that you could buy. Yeah, see, everybody's saying this is the age of Milwaukee, which, I can't say that it's not. At that pro price point, at least. Just got the DeWalt push mower, ran it for 11 lawns yesterday, and it is incredible. Yeah, see, so, I mean, like I said, everybody's pretty much making, tools like that now, mowers and stuff. So, like, when, Makita has a mower, so when one comes out with it, the next one comes out with it. These companies just go back and forth. That's really just what they do. The M12 line is really good. The ones of it I have anyway. Yeah, I'm telling you that the Milwaukee or DeWalt does have some 12-volt tools. I have I don't even have it in here. My stuff's all over the place. I have an 12-volt DeWalt, and I hold that thing, and I'm like, what? This thing is just not like. What were they trying to do with this thing? And then you pick up the Milwaukee M12 tools. You're like, all right, these guys got it figured out. They've had it figured out for a long time, and it works. The M12. I bought the Ego mower like 2 weeks ago before the DeWalt was announced. That's the thing. That's how they get you. That's part of the gimmick. They know what they're doing. They have people that just watch what other tool companies are doing, and like that's their job. Like, oh my gosh, okay, well their release date on this is going to be this, so we got to make sure that our release date is after that. That's what they do. I mean, that's what they're doing. We have switched over from steel gas to DeWalt battery lawn tools for all the landscaping we do. Only thing that is there yet is the backpack blower. I was wondering about that too with landscaping companies. Like they're trying to preach this to landscaping companies, that you can use these tools. But for small lawns, I would say yeah. But like cutting down a tree, man, I'm no way. I'm using my steel gas chainsaw. I ain't cutting down a tree with something cordless. Give me that chainsaw because when I want to run that thing, I need to run that thing. Milwaukee's big problem is they're always making next gen. It seems every year hard to keep by. Yeah, it's so hard. Like they want you to, like Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. What are they going to do now? I mean, 20 years down the road to be Gen 20. I mean, they're just revamping the tools they already have. They're not coming out with new, like top of the line. And this is the newest generation. This is the newest of this. The packouts were just too heavy for me. Yeah, they were. They're heavy. Don't get me wrong. If you're operating in the bed of your truck or, with your truck with a contractor cap, I don't think that the pack out is the way to go because it is heavy. For me, where my current situation is, which I've been contemplating this for about 2 years too, I have a 6x12 enclosed trailer. I like it because I'm roll in and roll out. Roll my toolboxes in, roll my toolboxes out to the job. If it's inside stuff, I got a box set up for inside. And then if it's outside stuff, I got a box set up for outside. Exterior work. So it's more of a roll in, roll out if you have a work trailer. I have contemplated getting a van, though, for like 2 years now. And I just can't bring myself to decide. It just gets tiring going and driving a truck and trailer all around, but I'm in the suburbs, so it's not like I'm downtown in a city somewhere. But I've been contemplating getting a van and trying to be more modular and just having the van, getting rid of the trailer and not having that anymore. But my thing is I can't bring myself to get rid of my truck. That's the biggest problem. Too much wasted space inside it. Sarah, just me though. I'm aware I'm in the minority. They're plenty heavy duty, but just weren't for me. Yeah, like I said, people go back and forth about that all the time, and it's like, use what you want to use. If you like what you're using and it works for you, use it. I do notice, you use the Festool, like the sustainers and stuff a lot, which I think those are kind of cool. I like the one that's open on both sides and just has the handle. That's kind of nice. I could see myself having something like that for like my caulks and stuff. and doing quick punch list work. If I had a van though, I think I'd be more modular like that. But since I don't, and I have a trailer, like I just have my caulks lined up and then my gun hanging right next to it. So I grab the gun, grab the caulk, and go in and caulk, or I throw it in my bucket and then take it in the house. But if I had a van, I'd be more like that, where I'd have it more set up where like grab and go for each little single thing. But oh yeah, so you've got a big trailer, 8x21 trailer, but I really like working from my truck and Dext system as much as possible. I've heard a lot of good things about those too, those Dext systems. My thing is, I travel with my family too in my truck. Like we go up north in Wisconsin and go on the river and boat and stuff. So my thing is, when we go, I gotta have as much space in the bed as possible, because like I have an old school stand-up jet ski, so I put that in there. I put our bikes in the bike trailer in there, so I try to have as much space as I can. And I don't have a truck cap, but I got a 2006 Ford, and I'm trying to find a used truck cap on Facebook, and I've been striking out. I can't find a cap anywhere. So yeah, I've been talking for an hour. I mean, I'll keep talking if you guys want to keep talking. If not, I can cut it off too. I don't care. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I just wanted to get on here, let everybody, I guess, see me, in person instead of, always just behind the camera or editing videos. And then that's all you see, versus live can talk and like kind of talk more, in general, like you're talking, at a restaurant, drinking coffee, as opposed to, just commenting back and forth, and more interaction that way. I'll tell you what, it's everything, but tough year to need to find a vehicle. Dude, it's insane. I briefly investigated a newer truck, and I looked at like a 2019 GMC crew cab 2500 diesel, and it had like 20,000 miles on it, and it was like $65,000. I'm like, whoa, you got to be kidding me. And a buddy of mine that I work with, he's got the same year truck. He bought it brand new for $53,000. I'm like, holy cow, you got to be kidding me. So it's a no for me. I tried to buy a new Tundra, but they have almost no choices and no I'm telling you, they won't negotiate at all. Like they're telling now. I just heard on the radio the other morning that people are paying over sticker price for a car. Are you kidding me? If that is a terrible financial decision, I don't know what is. I'm telling you, that's back to my saying, Jesus, take the wheel, because we got people that are overpaying for a vehicle that's going to lose value as soon as you walk off the lot. I mean, this is why people in this country are broke. 79% of Americans don't have more than $10,000 saved in their bank account. I mean, it's just crazy. And I don't know. People are buying it. They're paying over sticker price for a vehicle. I mean, houses, yeah, that's happened before. But when you're walking into a dealership and they're like, hey, we're selling this car for $50,000. Well, I'll buy it for $53,000. Who in their right mind would do that at a car dealership? That's got to be the worst thing I've ever heard of in my life. That would kill me. Oh yeah, Joe says my brother bought a new Tundra last year and he's selling it to Carvana this week for $7,000 more than he paid. My cousin just did that. They had a GMC Terrain, and they got another kid now, so they need something a little bigger. And she did the same thing. She thought it was a total scam. They gave her a price. I don't know how they do it, if they do it online or over the phone or what they do. And yeah, she sold it for $2,000 or $3,000 more than what they paid. They met this person wherever they met him. They took the keys, took the car, and gave him the money, and that was it. I said, this is crazy. It's that easy. It's just nuts. Anyways, guys, I don't know what we're going to do about this lumber shortage. It ain't a shortage. I don't care what anybody says. I was at Menards. They had stacks and stacks of lumber. These people this is not a lumber shortage no more. Maybe it's the suppliers trying to catch up to get the product where it needs to go. But man, they're just taking advantage of this, and they are taking advantage of people and their money and their situation, I guess I would say, if they're building a new house. And I don't know where this is going to go, but, you know, here's the thing, too. The prices have gotten so high, who's going to step in and make the prices go down? I don't think anybody. I mean, who's going to step in and be like, that's it, you're done. Every single person that supplies lumber has to bring the prices back down to where they were. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my opinion, but yeah, so I gotta, let's see where we're at now with the channel, I guess, real quick. I'll just update everybody about the channel. Where am I at with the channel? Like I said, I'm all over the place. I've got my next video coming out. I'm going to try. See, that's the thing. So when I was recording my last video of the last job that I did, I was doing that and also trying to record content at the same time for these flexible tools, or for the flex power tools. So it kind of is like mismatched back and forth. So I got to go through and try to do that. But the next video should be coming out soon. I try to do it once a week now. But that, and then I'll have plenty of video and content and reviews of that flex power tool line coming out. It's just, you know, it's just a matter of getting the right content to make sure that I have enough, make sure it's stuff that's on the job site, because I do not want to just be going and doing this in my garage and then turning around like, hey, check it out. Yeah, this grinder worked great. So just the jobs coming in when I got the tools and switching everything out, and then making sure that I have the right jobs to use it on, so that I'm using it for that. So that'll be coming out. The channel's slowly growing. I'm sure some of you guys that are on here that have your own channel, you know, the grind it is to try to do it. But like I said at the beginning, you know, I was putting so much time into Instagram for what? I mean, I don't know. I was kind of wasting my time. I did meet I met some people on there, though, and became friends with some people that I see. So that was worth it for that. But the other business aspect of it, I'm pretty much wasting my time. So that's why I put all my time and effort in this now. And, yeah, I don't mind doing this. So we can definitely, I'll do this again. You know, I'm not like some of the other channels where it's like the Handyman, where he's got, I mean, I think the last time I watched that guy's live, he did it like three or something in the morning. I don't know if I caught the end of it or how I caught it, or maybe before. I don't remember. No, I know what it was. He was doing a live at like 3 a.m, and I got up at 6 a.m. to work out, and he was still doing it. I was like, this guy's been live for like 4 hours. And, I mean, you know, he's got hundreds of people that are watching him at a time. So I only got 250 subscribers, but, you know, I don't mind doing it for, let's see, I think the most, there was 10 people on there. I don't mind doing it for 10 people. I like talking the trades, business aspect of it, what people go through, customers, et cetera, et cetera. So stay tuned, guys. I got plenty more content that's going to be coming out. We're in spring, which is the 15th of May. And, you know, it's just grinding away now. So I'll probably be grinding away, you know, pretty much till fall now. Don't get me wrong. We'll have some slow times too, but it's always the way I see it is, if you're not grinding away and you're running your own business, no matter what you're doing something wrong. I do it all by myself. Well, my wife helps me a lot. Don't get me wrong. She's my partner. She helps me with a lot of questions that I have, or ideas, or what I should do about this or that. And but what I will say, though, is if you keep working at it, like somebody just said, it does eventually pay here, though. If you just keep working at it, whether it's your business or your YouTube channel or whatever, it will pay off. Trust me, it will. And it's been 5 years now, but I'm slowly starting to see that it's paying off in different aspects of the business versus just going out and doing work for customers and running a successful handyman business. But, you know, keep grinding away. Don't give up. It can be easy to give up, but don't. reach out to people. You know, there's a couple of pages on Facebook too that you can find for people that have great information. That, I mean, these people have awesome information. I've gotten so much information, and just, you just bang and just, bounce questions off each other. You learn a lot just from that. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to do this for only 10 people. I don't care. I was on that one. He was painting cabinets, I think. Yeah, dude, he's crazy, man. So he does, his jobs were like, his time is all over the place, like he'll be out there at 3 a.m, and I'm like, man, I ain't gonna get to bed. But yeah, he does some good things. His channel has grown immensely. And like I said, I followed him when he had like 10,000 followers. He's well over 300,000 now. So he's really killing it. I think it's kind of intriguing because, and not only that, this dude's got 3 channels. I don't know how the heck he's keeping up with 3 channels, but this guy, it's crazy. I don't know how he does it. I mean, I'm trying to do this with one, and I'm like, how does he? I mean, it's got to just be endless hours of YouTube content with 3 channels. But I think the intriguing thing, though, is he doesn't tell anybody where he lives. So that's kind of intriguing about him. And some people have figured it out. I know where he lives because I figured it out a long time ago. But part of the mystique is I don't tell anybody either. I think it's kind of cool. Other people know. I'm not the only one that knows, but people have to figure it out on their own where he lives. But I know where he lives, and like, when I've talked to him before, like on his live, I'll talk in code because I know where he lives, and so that's intriguing. That's his thing. But yeah. So if you just, like I said, keep working at it, it'll grow. And like I said, I love helping people out as much as I can. Don't withhold the information from people. If somebody's got a question, help them out. If somebody's just starting their business, I do see on this one Facebook page that I'm on. I don't know how I say this, but these guys are just, they act like they're king dingling. And it's like they don't want to help these people out. They just want to make fun of them. Well, to help these people out. Help, he's just started. You started somewhere else. 2, it's like, help these people out. But some of these guys just bash these other guys. And I'm like, you know what? The guys that are doing that, though, here's my thought on it. The guys that are doing that and that are bashing these other people that aren't willing to help them, they're the same guys that are going to the job site, to a customer's house, and destroying the damn place and not cleaning them up after themselves. That's how I feel. If they got that kind of attitude towards other people, I feel that's their attitude at a customer's house. That's my honest opinion. But, help each other out, man. That's why we're all here. We're all here to help each other out. Oh, somebody commented, he's on the East Coast. He's not on the East Coast. That's not where he lives. But man, I mean, that's the intriguing part of it, though, right? Because people, when he's on these live chats, people are just like, they're all over the place somewhere they think this guy's living. I think at one time I saw somebody said he doesn't even live in the country, like doesn't even live in America. Like, oh man, you've just been putting on a front, you live somewhere else in the world or something like that. So it's kind of funny too. It's kind of funny too, because when he does his videos and he's like driving and everything, he like really blocks it out and bleeps it all out. So you really can't even like get like the neighborhood that he's in most of the time. I've seen him slip up a few times though, but I don't know if people have caught that. So, well, guys, if you don't got any other questions or got anything else for me, I like doing this because it kind of gives you a little bit into my life and my business and the way I run. And then I am a one-man show and I'm by myself 95% of the time. The other 5%, I do have my other buddy that's the same age as me started a decking business. So if we get a big enough deck, me and him will do it together and kind of partner up. But most of the time, the work that I do, I'm by myself. And yeah, that's about it. Being by myself, though, you got days that it's harder than others. I'm 36 years old, so I can handle it pretty well. But at 50, I'm not going to be doing the same kind of things that I am doing now. I guarantee you that. But, it'll all pay off. And running your own business, if that's what you're doing and not working for somebody, it's not the easiest thing. But at the same time, it's fun. You get to interact with a lot of customers. And you're out there. I like because you're out there like chasing, you're like chasing the next job, the next, income, the next profit, the next money. And then you're like, all right, where's this money going to come from? Well, how much, can I make this? Da, 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 da. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get off. Okay. We've been on here for an hour and 14 minutes. I appreciate every single person that's tuned in. We had a total of 10 people. That's more than I thought. I told my wife it'd probably be like 3 or 4. We've had about 10 at the max, I think. And, you know, who knows? Maybe one day the ticker will go way up and we'll have a few hundred people in here. But anyways, guys, enjoy your weekend. And, you know, keep tuning into my channel. I appreciate everybody's support that's following along. Ask those questions if you got questions. And who knows? Maybe we'll do this like a once a month thing if we want to or something like that. Or if I can get enough interest, we'll see. But anyways, have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you.